OK, Joe, let's have a quick squint at our Dartford Warbler. And look, they're actually coming in. Look at that. That's sensational stuff. So this is one of our Heathland specialists. And that's the male. You can see that russety chest, the red eye ring on the bird there. Oh, actually, no, hold on a minute. I'm looking back here. I'm looking at the squinty head. That's the female bird there, actually. Sorry. I need to get my eyesight sorted. Should have gone to that high street retailer of glasses. Anyway, look, we have seen the male at the nest. Let's have a quick look at the male, because he is altogether more attractive than that rather dowdy female. OK, so the male comes in here, and you can see, yeah, look, there we are. That's why I should go to that high street retailer of optical devices. And there you can see a much brighter eye ring and that russet chest. Although I've got to tell you, I'm not going to start off by being too controversial, but the Dartford Warbler might be rare and it might be a southern speciality, but it's not very high in my charts when it comes to birds. I've always thought of them being a little bit tatty, actually, a little bit windblown and unkempt. I'm going to score them 1 out of 10. Megs, how would you score the Dartford Warbler?
Chris, you really should have gone and got your eyes tested, because I entirely disagree with you. I mean, I'd give them maybe like a 6, but then because of their story and their success story, I should add, I'd bump it up to a solid 8.
An 8?
Solid 8. Yeah, it's a solid 8 for me. That gorgeous red eye ring, I mean, come on, they're quite beautiful. They're not scruggly to me. I think they're actually quite elegant. But there we go. That's just me and my opinion.
I'm going to go to the Dartford Warbler instead. Fantastic nest, this. Right in the middle of that gorse bush, and as we zoom in, you can see the little chicks just about poking out. Look at those feathers. That's extraordinary, the way they're sticking up. Those are the chicks. What about the adults? These are the adult Dartford Warblers, both of them diligently feeding those chicks. And look at that, look at the eye. This is a very distinctive bird and a specialist in this area. And as I say, there's 3 little heads popping up. All sorts of food going in there, caterpillars, invertebrates, spiders. And as they come in, look at this. Which mouth shall I put it in? I'll try and shove it in that one. I've seen you eat like that, Chris.
Oh, don't be
Yeah, go on. Down it goes, down it goes. Its eyes too big for its belly. As I say, both of them are doing a lot of the feeding, and they're feeding so well, 5 to 8 feeds an hour, which is an average of 6.25 feeds, which is really good. So, I mean, that is a great nest, and fingers crossed it's going to continue to be successful.
Fingers crossed, indeed, although I did say earlier in the week, not one of my favourite birds, gave them a 1 out of 10.
I don't know why, they're gorgeous. I thought you'd like a Dartford
Well, when I was a
Warbler.
kid, I was massively into them. I remember watching Blue Peter in the 1960s, and they featured Dartford Warblers as one of our rarest birds. And encouraged by my teacher, Miss Maundrell, I wrote to Blue Peter saying, "Where did you film them? Can I go and see them?" And I got a typed reply from a lady called Biddy Baxter, who was the producer of the programme, saying, "No, we're not going to tell you because they're so rare. We don't want snotty young boys like you going off to disturb them." She didn't actually say that.
No, I'm
that
sure
was the
she
general
didn't.
gist. Anyway, it was years later that I got to see a Dartford Warbler. No thanks to Blue Peter. No grudge, though. No grudge.
No
Great
grudge at
programme.
all.
Val, you know, lovely lady. Let's go live to our Dartford's nest now. Here it is. I'm afraid to say it's empty. But I'm jesting. It's been a successful fledging, no predation here. Let's see what was going on over the weekend. We did say we thought they might go over the weekend. Firstly, back to Thursday. They're sparsely feathered here. They're certainly not looking fluffy, but they grow incredibly quickly. They will fledge, or at least semi-fledge, between 10 and 14 days. And here, look, as you can see, by Saturday, they're certainly a lot fluffier. You can still see their prominent gape flanges there, indicating they're chicks, but they were active on their feet and they'd started to hop in and out of the nest throughout the course of Saturday. I have to say they were all back in the nest overnight Saturday night. That probably made sense. They weren't quite ready to go. But then at 7 o'clock on Sunday morning, they made a bit of a squawk. and headed off into the surrounding vegetation. And of course, this is a perfect strategy for these birds. They're not truly fledging because they're not flight worthy at this stage, but they're dispersing into that foliage. Having all of your chicks in one basket is not a good idea when there are plenty of predators about. So spreading them out in that foliage is a good idea. They can individually hide, and of course when the adults come back with food, they'll make a little contact call and the adults will find them and feed them. And it will be maybe at least another week before they can flutter weakly across the top of the heather to fly away from danger themselves.
That is our first fledging of the season.